Hey folks, this is BestInSlot, and tonight we're going to go through all the cool little references, Easter eggs and callbacks found in Season 2 of Camp Cretaceous. The first reference comes really early, close to the start of Episode 1, about 2 minutes in. The gang is being pursued by the Tyrannosaurus Rex as she's also hunting down some nearby herbivores, this time Parasaurolophus. They climb over a large log, and they hide on the other side of it as the T-Rex kills a Parasaurolophus and feasts, very similar to what goes on with Grant, Lex and Tim in Jurassic Park 1 on the Gallimimus Plains. Not too long after that, the gang is exploring Main Street and Darius comes across a lost and found box. The only items he manages to find in this box are a pair of sunglasses and a hat, both of which are very closely matched to the glasses and hats that Alan Grant chooses to wear. This will also get yet another callback later on in the video. Hopping forward into episode 2, we arrive at a veterinary compound, complete with some caged-in dinosaurs. Now, whilst the two have very different purposes, it is very similar in style to the Game Hunter InGen compound in The Lost World, complete with near the same dinosaurs. We have Stegosaurus, we have Parasaurolophus, and whilst we can't have Triceratops, we do instead have Sinoceratops, or replacement Ceratopsid. I still love you best though, Triceratops, okay? Skipping forward a little bit into episode 3, Darius and Kenji utilise a pair of combative stegosaurs to clear out a blocked river. These stegosaurs not only have proper beaks again, which I know was in season 1 and in The Lost World, but they actually make the exact same sounds as their Lost World counterparts, and their battle animation, the way they sort of curl and rotate around each other and swing the tail, is ripped straight from Jurassic World Evolution. It is uncanny how similar it is. Later on in the same episode, Darius and Kenji come across a watering hole where many different dinosaur species are gathering to drink. Now, whilst it's not the same scale as the one from Jurassic Park, the atmosphere, the majesty is very similar, with Parasaurolophus drinking from the water's edge, and there's even Brachiosauruses not just there but also walking through the water, as they do near the start of Jurassic Park 1. At the same time the boys are at the watering hole, the girls are exploring the genetics lab. This scene has multiple callbacks to the Jurassic Park velociraptor kitchen scene. One of the Barrys snaps at the other, like the velociraptors do when they first enter the kitchen. Moments later, the girls hide behind an upturned table as the Baryonyx approaches and looks around the room, calling back a huge number of scenes from the kitchen sequence, even the angles are the same. Finally, as the Baryonyx pursues the girls across the room as they make their escape, the Baryonyx slips, just as the Velociraptor does when chasing Tim into the freezer unit. In the next episode, we have my absolute favourite reference of the bunch, and credit to Plock on Discord for this one. We're introduced to two new characters who you will grow to hate very quickly, and after Darius saves one of them from a Compsognathus attack, he and the new guy remark that compies have a small dose of venom in their bite. Now, this hasn't been mentioned in any of the films or in any of the other interactive media, but it is mentioned at the very start of the first Jurassic Park novel. Worth mentioning that it's pro-Compsognathus at the time, not Compsognathus, but it's essentially the exact same thing. A very cool little callback there. That same guy who mentions the venom also has an outfit you probably recognise. It's modelled very closely on what Alan Grant wears, from the hat to the blue shirt to the tan pants. The only thing really missing is of course that neckerchief. Thankfully, his wife has that one covered for us, although she does opt for a lovely pink number, rather than the red one that Alan Grant wears. That same group, plus some of the others, later venture out to see the Brachiosaurus herd. They're sort of below them in the landscape, grazing from the tops of the trees. Now, though this scene takes place in the daytime rather than at dusk, it's a pretty clear reference to the treetop scene in Jurassic Park. And if you didn't believe it already, to hammer the point home, both scenes feature people making Brachiosaurus calls with their hands and mouth to lure the dinosaurs closer. You know, the whole kind of thing, I sound like a whale. We skip the next couple of episodes and we land in episode 7, where the gang is trying to get the power in the park back on. Every time I call them the gang, I think of Always Sunny. Kenji opens up the power control box and he flips a large grey flat switch identical to the one Sattler operates in Jurassic Park, although he doesn't have to do that, pumping motion. There's also a pair of green and red buttons just to the left of the large switch, and they're in the exact same formation as the film. And for our final little reference, we head to the final episode, and the death of a character I think we're all pretty happy to see go. Tiff dies to the claws of the Baryonyx as her boat leaves the dock. This could reference multiple things, but for me the closest ties are with the boat death in The Lost World, which never actually got explained at all in the film, as it happens. But if we follow the first novel, which also featured dinosaurs on boats, the theory is that velociraptors managed to escape onto the ship. I don't think it was the Rex, I don't think that makes much sense, but still this seems like a possible callback. A little bit tenuous, this one, compared to some of the others. And that is it, folks. I think there were less references and less callbacks in this season compared to season 1. But I definitely could have missed some. This is a pretty good list. I, paid attention as I watched it this morning, but there is definitely potential for many more out there. So if you know of any, if you found any, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I'll throw you a heart if you drop me a really good one. Won't that make you feel special? Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to have a little bit more Camp Cretaceous content very soon. Tomorrow I'll be doing a video discussing E750, which is I wouldn't say prominent plot point in Season 2, but a very intriguing one for Season 3. And I'd like to speculate a little bit on what we think E750 might turn out to be. So that will be tomorrow. I'll see you lovely folks then. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video and this look at the Easter eggs of Camp Cretaceous Season 2, please do hit the like button down below. That would make you a very cool person, and cool people do cool things like my videos. And I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers much love as always. Bye bye.